there, I'm Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of Emerald Expectations Accounting. I'm so happy that you're here. Today is another episode of Tax Tip Tuesday. So, for those of you who don't know what that is where I share tips and tricks on how to save money on your taxes and to prepare for your taxes, as well as answer your tax questions. So, if you have a tax question you'd like me to answer, please drop that in the comments below. I would love to make a video just for you. Today's question is, do I really need to track my mileage? I'm sure most of you asking this question can guess the answer, and that is yes. If you want to take the tax deduction, you do. Now, here's the story. There are multiple ways that you can take a tax deduction for the use of your vehicle, okay? Now, one of those ways is to take direct mileage for business use of your personal vehicle, right? Now, this is a great option because all you have to do is track your mileage. It doesn't matter how much you spend on gas. It doesn't matter how much you spend on maintenance, on oil changes, on new tires, on repairs, etc., right? It doesn't matter because all you're doing is you're taking your business mileage, right? Now, the problem with that is if you're driving something larger than, say, a Honda Civic, then you might not want to take mileage because that is the vehicle that the government bases their mileage rates off of. So like if you're driving a big, Ford F-250, then you may not be truly being compensated for the expenses that you're having on your vehicle if you're using mileage, right? So you might want to use actual expenses, right? Nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. If you're using actual expenses, you need to know business mileage versus personal mileage, okay? So that means you have to track all your mileage, okay? And now, an easy way to do this is say January 1. If you haven't done this already, you might want to go ahead and do it. Write down your mileage on your vehicle. The vehicle that you plan to use for business, what is your mileage on January 1? And then on December 31st, again, if you haven't done this for last year, you might want to go ahead and do it now. What is your mileage at the end of the year? And then you can basically just track your business miles because you know the total mileage. And if you know the total mileage, you can subtract the business mileage, and that gives you personal, right? So with that situation, you have to track business and personal, okay? Now, the other option is you could buy a vehicle in the business's name. Nothing wrong with that. You can totally do that. And as long as the vehicle is 100% business usage, you don't have to track your mileage. Great, right? You can just use actual expenses. That's fine. You could still use mileage if you wanted to. If you have come to find that actual mileage is a better deduction for you, then you could totally do that. Track your mileage though, right? And then the other sample is if you're putting the vehicle in the business's name, but you're using it for any reason that's personal above like 10%, you have to track your mileage because you have to account for the personal use of that business vehicle, right? And that goes on to your W-2 if you have a W-2. If you don't have a W-2, then we still need to know mileage because you can only deduct the portion of that vehicle that is business related. So you still need to track your mileage for business and personal. Are you feeling a trend? Are you feeling a trend here? So yes, the short answer is you do need to track your mileage. The long answer was what I just said. There's lots of different ways that you can do it, but you do, in fact, need to track your mileage. Thank you so much for spending a couple minutes of your time with me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video.